Hey guys, video 6. First thing I want to mention is we're going to talk a lot about the naval strategies during this war. So I just wanted to show you this real quick. So the red is giving you an idea of, Great Britain's going to put a bunch of boats here so Germany can't get any in. You can see how effective that's going to be and how easy it is. Nothing gets in here, Germany doesn't have any food, they are going to starve to death. Whereas for Germany trying to do the reverse to Great Britain, they're going to try to put subs around. Just look at how much more difficult that task is, all right? So we want to talk about America. So America had been neutral, but noticed when Germany screwed over Belgium, right? America had followed policy of neutrality at the beginning of the war. But what happens is business interests lean towards the Allies. American banks heavily loaned money to the Allies, over $2 billion. Partly because of that difference between the blockade and the U-boats. As a result, we needed the Allies to win because we need our money back. All right. Germany seeks to control the Atlantic Ocean to stop supplies to Britain. That's what we're talking with the U-boat. Germany uses unrestricted submarine warfare. As ships near Britain, they're sunk without warning. Germany halts this policy in 1915 after sinking of the Lusitania. Angers the United States. Look, I'm mad because I'm from America. All right, so this is how it affects the whole world. America joins the fight. Germany's trying to stop, uses unrestricted submarine warfare, sinks the United States. There were several Americans on the boat, and we're going to talk about the Zimmerman letter. Renewal of policy and effort to enlist Mexico anger against the United States. Keep in mind, this is important. The United States had troops in Mexico trying to fight Pancho Villa, the leader of Mexico. The United States declares war against Germany in April of 1917. So on some level, strike one is the money, strike two is the Lusitania and unrestricted submarine warfare, and strike three is the Zimmerman note. All right? The Lusitania was a British passenger liner. Basically, 1,200 people were killed. 120 Americans were dead. Americans are outraged. They're ticked off. They're getting close to war. They've had all they could stand. They can't stand no more. They weren't mad enough to go to war. There was diplomacy. There were some pledges. The German says we won't use any more U-boats. We'll give warnings. But the problem is, if you're going to use a U-boat successfully, you really can't give warnings. Here you see the Lusitania before it left. Interestingly enough, one of Mrs. Campbell's great-grandparents was one of the people on the boat, or great-great-grandparents. All right, we've already talked to this. So the Germans send a letter to Mexico. Say, join our side. We'll get you back Arizona, Texas, and any lands taken from them. The problem is the note went from Germany to Mexico. The British intercepted because of their advantage with the rail lines. Excuse me, the telegraph lines. They intercept it, they give it to the United States because the British want us to join their side. The German would almost like us to stay out of the war because if we have to fight Mexico, then we can't fight Germany. All right? Get it? Get it? So February 1917, the Germans say, all right, we're going for it. We're trying to win. And they go back to unrestricted submarine warfare. After they sink six U.S. merchant ships, President Woodrow Wilson said, that's it, and we declare war. Congress declares war against Germany in April 1917. So we show up to the war late. It's like sending fresh athletes into the war in the fourth quarter. On some level, the most important thing we did was show up. It gave the side we showed up to the Allies confidence, excitement, hope. We're able to successfully sail to Europe without any casualties. We use a system called the convoy system. So you can see here there's a large number of ships that are designed to spread out, sink any U-boats that are on the way. As you can see, life is good in the Navy. This is all stuff we talked about. Again, April 1917, we joined the Allies. We talked last video about Russia withdrawing. Germany renews its restricted submarine warfare. Zimmerman telegraph, we're in. So after a final offensive, leaving Germany in France, the German army is exhausted. After the Second Battle of the Marne, in which the U.S. fought, Germany was near collapse. What's interesting, what gets the war to end is the German military. German submariners, German U-boats, basically refused to get in the ship anymore. So on November 9th, 1918, an armistice was signed, and you get this famous date, 11/11/11. Just notice still the day we get off for our day to remember our veterans. The revolution engulfed Austria-Hungary and the Ottoman Empire. They surrendered. German citizens rebelled, forcing the German emperor to step down. On the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month, fighting finally stopped. Germans signed an armistice, or a ceasefire, that ended the war. What's really interesting and is important, as much as we knew and everybody else knew that the war was over and the Germans were losing, many German citizens were surprised. Because of the propaganda, they'd been told they were winning, they were shocked. Legacy of the war. The war takes a heavy toll. 8.5 million soldiers dead, 12 million are wounded. Many are going to come home missing something from their body. The war devastates the European economies, drains about $338 billion. We saw how a swamp or a forest can be turned into a swamp. Survivors suffer disillusionment and despair reflected in the arts. Remember, we're also going to see all those guys coming home with shell shock. And the average battle, 100,000 men would die. 3.75 million casualties, over 16.5 million people were killed, 12 million wounded. Interesting, Russia loses the most, and they also lost the most troops total. Here's some statistics. Take a second, pause, rewind, pause. Notice we're down here. U.S. We lost twice fewer than, and this, remember, is in thousands. Just property worth $30 billion had been lost. The Allies spent about $145 billion for all their weapons. Central Powers spent about $63 billion. European countries are in debt to the United States. It leads to food shortages right after the war. And just think, if that many young men from one generation are dead, it causes all types of problems, especially France, Germany, and Russia. All right, guys, that's video 6. Lock it down, lock it down.